Ezekiel 5. I read from the Institute for Scripture Research, the ISR, because it takes a direct translation from Hebrew to English, Greek to English, and Aramaic to English. Yah excuse me. Yah is short for Yahweh, Yahweh, Yod He Vav He. There's no difference. Yah is the Elohim of the heavens and the earth, the first and the last and the only. Yah is an extremely jealous El. He doesn't even want the names of idols or mighty ones to come to our lips. The letter J is about 600 years old, while the son of Elohim, Yehoshua, died on a stake for the sins of all of humanity over 2,000 years ago. Excuse me. A direct translation from Hebrew to English, Yehoshua is Joshua. Ezekiel 5. And you, son of man, take a sharp sword, take it as a barber's razor. Actually, my friend can do that. He took my knife once and turned it into like a barber's razor. It was so nice. He does it to all his knives, though. That's really cool. And you shall pass it over your head and your beard, and you shall take scales to weigh and divide the hair. Burn with fire 1/3 in the midst of the city when the days of the siege are completed, and you shall take 1/3 and strike around it with the sword, and scatter 1/3 in the wind, and I shall draw out a sword after them, and you shall take a few hairs from there and bind them in the edge of your garment, and take again some of them and throw them into the midst of the fire and burn them in the fire. From it a fire shall spread into all the houses of Israel. Thus said the Master Yahweh, this is Jerusalem, which I have set in the midst of the nations with the other lands all around her. But she rebelled against my right rulings, doing wrong more than the nations, and my laws more than the lands all around her. For they have rejected my right rulings, and they have not walked in my laws. Therefore, thus said the Master Yahweh, because you have rebelled more than the nations all around you, and have not walked in my laws, nor done my right rulings, nor even done according to the right rulings of the nations all around you. Therefore, thus said the Master Yahweh, Therefore, thus said the Master Yahweh, look, I myself am against you, and shall execute judgments in your midst before the eyes of the nations, and I shall do among you what I have never done, and the like of which I never do again, because of all your abominations. Therefore fathers are going to eat their sons in your midst, and sons eat their fathers, and I shall execute judgments among you, and scatter all your remnant to all the winds. Therefore, as I live, declares the Master Yahweh, because you have defiled my set apart place with your disgusting matters and with all your abominations, therefore I also withdraw, and my eye shall not ponder, nor shall I spare. 1/3 of you shall die of pestilence and be consumed by scarcity of food in your midst, and 1/3 shall fall by the sword all around you, and I shall scatter another third of all to all the winds, and draw out the sword after them, and my displeasure shall be completed, and I shall bring my wrath to rest upon them, and I shall be eased, and they shall know that I, Yahweh, have spoken it in my adore, when I have completed my wrath upon them, and I shall make you a waste and a reproach among the nations that are all around you before the eyes of all who pass by, and it shall be a reproach, an object of scorn, a warning, and an astonishment to the nations that are all around you, when I execute judgments among you in displeasure and in wrath and in heated chastisements, I, Yahweh, have spoken when I send against them the evil arrows of scarcity of food, which shall be for their destruction, which I send to destroy you. I shall increase the scarcity of food upon you, and cut off your supply of bread. And I shall send against you scarcity of food and evil beasts, and they shall bereave you, and pestilence and blood shall pass through you, while I bring the sword against you. I, Yahweh, have spoken.